It started with a brainwash pertaining to the internet kill switch. That's how it all started. It ended next day with pot literally burned. That's how it all started. It started with the internet kill switch. Let me demonstrate you how this goes. Now I'm gonna demonstrate you basically what this shit did to me. What your fucking games with the internet. I'm gonna demonstrate you what your games with the internet did to me. This is what I barely managed to take out the cooking pot. This here. The whole house could have gone on fire. It destroyed me the cooking pot like this. All iron metal, nice, beautiful, like this. This is basically what this looks like inside now. No, I want you to see what the fuck this is. How the accidents breed accidents. That's what happens when you get into the people's lives and you start to interrupt them and you go after them and you don't let them be, even in completely impossible circumstances as they are. You understand? This is what the fuck this is. I was talking to you about this guy, about these things that should have been done completely separately from the issue concerning the internet issue. Concerning all these things, I wouldn't be even talking to you about the fucking internet and about these things if it wasn't for this stuff. So this is now the next day, and now you can see how the money goes. That's very expensive dish. That was my dinner right there that I prepared myself. And in a split of a second, because of this kind of issues that you get into, this childhood shit and stuff that went on, you end up burning the fucking house. That's what you motherfuckers did. That's what you scum are. Keep laughing over there in America. Because this is what you are. I brought so much burned dish, fucking deadly stuff, man. Deadly stuff. My voice is even changing from this shit that I inhaled in me. So you're gonna see the stuff that you people do, what kind of stuff the fuck you do with this internet game, with the disconnecting the internet, how far this kind of stuff goes. I'm gonna show you how it goes, how it all ended. How your internet stuff, this is basically good for the trash bin. This stuff here. This is how your internet game ended, yeah? I want you to see how it ended. I just came out of the room. Huh? In the end, actually, it happened, the accident. It could have been even worse. In this video, I was crazy. I even blamed my mom for it, for the internet connection. We were talking about the kill switch, internet kill switch. So stay tuned. What a crazy issue, and how many memories I just managed to pull out in respect to police insanity done inside of this house pertaining to the internet. And I came to the bottom of it. I like it. What I learned tonight, this morning, is actually really beneficial for me on a long term. Stay tuned, because it's worth it. It's about the internet kill switch. There really is such a thing. I was driven nuts. Just watch this video. This is recorded the next day. This is worth it for you to see this video. It's worth it for you to see this video. I recommend you. I highly recommend you. You're gonna learn about, in a parenthesis, internet kill switch. I do believe this is how the people cut out of the internet, through their own modems. I was told they shoot the pockets in your modem. And this is about something else. You're gonna see what this kind of a play finally turned out the next day, as I was eager to finish this video so much that I went on to... Now I'm going to demonstrate you basically what this shit to interrupt them concerning the money goes. And so nice, beautiful, like this. This is basically what this looks like inside now. No, I want you to see what the fuck this is. How the accidents breed accidents. It was a minor thing. It was a minor thing that actually turned into accident. Filming about accident that you used, minor, small incidents that you used to actually create a real accident out of it. Talking to the neighbors here, police. Small things that you're gonna see what this looks like. When it comes to MK Ultra, you wander into completely different time, different location, different, like going through the memories, and easily the stuff you're about to see can happen to you. And they're using all kind of issues to aggravate things till the real accident, till the real incidents come out. This isn't the first time that the pot burned. This isn't the first time that I have gone through things. But it's this time that I actually video recorded. It's things that happen to the people in daily life that people don't even know. People say, we don't even know why it happened. Let me explain to you how it works when it comes to MK Ultra. Yeah, the pot, I burned one next day. It took me 55 minutes to realize that's actually something wrong, that I need to go check the fucking pot. Simply so much into this stuff to finish, to go to the next project, that eventually I end up in a situation exactly as you're about to see at the end of the video. This is a very good video. It's not the first time that things happen to me. It's been used frequently. It's been used by the police to suggest you during MK Ultra, brainwash you on mistakes that you make without even making any kind of mistakes. So obviously drugged up, subjected to torture, and taught repeatedly that you make mistakes. Mistakes this, mistake that. Now let me demonstrate you what this looks like in real life. Let me demonstrate you what kind of consequences I have to put up with next to all other issues, next to see nothing, hear nothing, know nothing, attack a whole lot. Let me demonstrate you, welcome to my life, let me demonstrate you what that looks like. It looked like way too often. So basically this is how it all started yesterday, when I started to go and play with what you see here, and it just turned into a fucking nightmare. During what was a pants wash, I prepared myself some food over there, minor stuff that through the internet connection eventually turned out into disaster. So everything starts yesterday, basically, on actually even early this morning, November the 28th. So this is just to give you an example how things are done. You're gonna say there's nobody's fault, fuck you. November 28th, 2025, this is basically when it all started, and then you want to watch the progress. Me learning about the internet kill switch, the issue I was not even aware existed, was involved in MK Ultra. But during play with this internet, it's all kinds of memories I was entitled to, due to less fear that I have. They instill the fear, psychiatric fear, so much that you would not even think about the thing. You will all function under the complete terror. Neighbors, and also mother and father, everybody, that will keep your brain frozen. And so since the brain unfroze and this issue popped up, I had a deeper look into internet connection, play with the internet connection from MK Ultra perspective, from the perspective which involved police. And so let me demonstrate you basically about issue pertaining to the internet connection that I experienced yesterday on November the 28th, 2025. Let's go from the beginning, and then you're going to see what this shit have developed into through my investigation of the case you see here, and also some other case. This was the beginning of the recording.
So I think that
these are morning hours, of course. These are morning hours of already. This is why I did this. Morning hours of November the 28th, 2025. Exactly as I indicated you here. So let's go from beginning and watch how the internet stopped, and then all kinds of other problems started to derive from the government play with the internet. Watch how this stuff is. Learn what MK Ultra is. Learn what MK Ultra is. So I think that there is something going on here with this stuff here, more than just you see the way they cut the internet again. This is just not just the wireless router or anything like this. I would not say so. Now there you go, the connection is right back. I'm again inside of the living room area right now. They cut me, and the thing about this stuff is something else, I would say. I don't know, look at that. This says no internet access. I think it's more than that. I think it's just limited. It says it's a limited connection. You know, I'm thinking about what the fuck would that be, really? What the hell would that be? This is like somebody downstairs, and I'm inside of the living area, inside of the living room area. See, I'm here, I'm inside of the living room area. This is like somebody would cut the internet downstairs or something like that. I just don't get it, how you would manage to do this stuff. It feels like either you would cut the internet downstairs, or you would just disable basically on the computer, maybe. Adapter or something. I have no idea what the hell that would be. This is like, could you possibly do this? No. Because why? Because it's still catching the signal. So that's got to be either somebody cutting the internet some way, somehow, and that's most likely not even the Wi-Fi router. I don't think that you can do this through the Wi-Fi router, stuff like this. It feels like as if from my internet service provider company they would do this stuff like this. I don't get it, how you could possibly do this stuff. I mean, how can you do this stuff like this? And actually there is one way to learn about this stuff. There's a way to learn about this stuff. You can find out about that stuff. Why? What am I doing? It's more people around here. I mean, more people around here. Let's see this. See what the hell I'm saying? This shit, it's like, you can see the internet from me, it's still reaching all the way out here. It's just crazy. I'm right at the end of the terrace here. I am literally right here next to the fence, basically. But you can see the internet connections that exist out there, and this goes to clearly demonstrate that what they do is they play with, I guess they play with a router. Let's go see a router to see how that looks like. It looks like it's communicating with something. So why the hell would be limited? Why the hell would you have limited? The way I feel about this stuff is that they actually cut me the internet at the service internet provider. I actually feel that this is not done through the Wi-Fi. I didn't even touch one, and I don't want to touch one. I want to come here and see it for myself. And what I'm going to do first is I just want to check the fucking door because this shit is spooky, man. Yeah. I be damned. It's everything. It's locked. So this shit that must be done through the Wi-Fi router in that case. What Mom is doing is truly insane. I mean, just look at that. The way she keeps the wires. Look at that. That's a fucking hanger right there, and she keeps the electric cable right there, just like this. No matter what the fuck I do, I don't understand how the fuck she gets up there where the cables are and puts the cables down. She keeps playing with the stuff that could put the whole fucking house on fire. I mean, honestly. She knows what the fuck she's doing. She had police here. She had people here. They talked to her about this stuff. And she's doing it. I see everything connected. I see everything connected. The way they connected this stuff here, this is the way they connect in Slovenia. There's absolutely something wrong with these people, but that's the way they do it. What's going on? What's happening actually? I have no fucking idea. Right there, did you see? It says Netgear, it got connected to, and it says the limited, so therefore no internet. I just don't get what the hell this is. Let me see this here. Alright. We got a signal, our signal. We didn't get any other signals here. Okay. And again, you can see this thing is, I think it's functional. And do you know where it cut me? Do you know where it actually cut me from the internet? As I was searching the New York. I went to the New York City and I searched around, and I also checked a little bit for the real estate. And when I did this, you're out of the internet, basically. So I don't know how much you can see that stuff, but can you see the damn lights? It feels like it's communicating, the two lights. So I don't get it. I don't understand. This is what, let me see. You can see better now, I'm sure you can. Yeah, this is like you would have a police officer on the other side of the internet, literally. Today is, I'm gonna get to this stuff here. This in Slovenia, this is like a wild hogs basically. This is fucking incredible, this stuff here. I will explain to you what exactly I mean by this. It doesn't, I cannot see seems like I cannot even demonstrate you the stupid lights and this camera, and I don't know how much you folks can see this shit, but it looks like it's communicating. You know, I deliberately don't want to change this stuff simply because it's not the first time this have happened to, and the only thing that happened was it went right back on its own without even my touching anything. So the question here is, what exactly is going on with this stuff? Let's go to the kitchen area. What I meant by this wild hogs and stuff is simply that you should see how during MKH the neighbors were involved in psychiatry, and as you know, it's a Black Friday right now, and they insisted, do not buy anything for the Black Friday because you're going into the psychiatric hospital. It's fucking unbelievable, this stuff. Like, you would not fucking believe the stuff that went on inside of our home before Black Friday. They were showing all kinds of deals, hard drives, watches, all kinds of issues were involved in it. Do not buy, do not buy, do not buy, do not buy, do not buy. I had neighbors coming here. Do not buy. Together with the psychiatrists, they brainwash. With the politicians, they brainwash. Do not buy, do not buy. First they show you all kinds of things, but parallel to this they start to instigate. Do not buy, do not buy. You're going to the psychiatric hospital and so on. This is such a shithole, this place here. Unfortunately, really, Americans supported this type of violence. With the Germans, with the British, it became evident that this is just we're coming here to totally make like total fucking zoo on open. They totally de-animalized the whole fucking thing, totally. Because they were giving them attention. Rather than take the stick in the hands and slap their ass, they were giving them attention, expressing the interest in it. But why? Why not to release this lunacy for the world to see how sick people are here in Slovenia? Why to come here and all this if not to give them a support? Express an interest in stuff like this, make them even crazier. They're already sick like this, and giving them attention, they became even crazier. Let's do something else. Let me go and let me hear from the kitchen. Let me go and let me just try to reset here the adapter on the okay. Let's try. Let's just see this stuff here and see what's going on here with this stuff. Maybe I can get this. So I want to know whether they do this on the smartphone, or they actually, as I said, smartphone. I probably should use the smartphone to see if I can connect myself to the internet, and that way I would know immediately what's going on. I just want to establish, is this shit like done through my computer, or is it done through literally a smartphone? I'm not gonna stand up. I'm gonna be here and till this thing is gonna solve itself, and he could not identify the problem, it says here. Really? Windows Network Diagnostic, publish. Detection detail, no issues, publisher details. There's no issues, there's no fucking issues. Problem with the network connectivity. And then you have this here, this kind of stuff here, and everything is normal, and there is no internet whatsoever. Okay, so there's only one thing that's left, and that's basically to use the smartphone and see whether they actually throw. This is something just lately they started. They were not doing this kind of stuff before, and I see that they're doing this stuff lately because of this feature here. Let me demonstrate you this feature here. You see, when you have this disconnect, I'm gonna disconnect from one like I did, and then it says here connect automatically. And because I just started to use this here connect automatically, this stuff results actually in a serious problems, leaving me actually without the internet, making me walk house back and forth and try to analyze about what's going on. But I started this stuff, I started to use this kind of stuff maybe about 3 weeks ago, and before this there were those other disconnections, you know, that it would just disconnect me, and then it would just I would just go and I would connect myself back to it, you know. But this time, once I started to use this connect automatically to the network, it would just leave me with what you see right there. So the question here is, what actually is going on here with this stuff? What is happening with the internet? Is it like that? For that matter, what I will do is I will just use the Wi-Fi like this, and hopefully that this would give me a chance. What it says here is basically that there is no internet. Yeah, you see that? It says it's Netgear right there, but there is no internet. So now even if I go to like this, you see? It just says that there is no see this stuff here? There is no security on it. So who is doing this kind of stuff is not difficult. It's not even difficult to tell. These are neighbors. This shit is coming either from it's coming from the two locations. This is either coming from the Mahar, or it's coming from the Berger, or I should say it's coming from the Peterlin, or it's coming from, well, these days people already have all kinds of stuff, and they were playing with all kinds of stuff, extenders, and or maybe it's coming from Yerman, I don't know. But here you can see that this is the internet, and the internet does not have connection. So that means that they do something that the router itself does not have the ability to connect itself back to the internet. That's what fascinates. What I want to learn about is what exactly do they do. This is why it's so important to me. I don't know shit about this. So.
Yeah, look at the on the computer. Okay, this camera sucks. Really sucks. Yeah. May. Shit. Order scale, screen filters. That ain't gonna do. That's not gonna do nothing. Video. Okay, you cannot fix this stuff when you're recording. There's nothing you can do about this stuff here. Video capture device. HD configure video. You're not. I'm not doing anything useful here. So have to disconnect to play with this. It's like this, basically. I feel that this is from the internet service provider, this connection. That's the point. Because this have happened to me about a week ago. I did video record it. And what happened was the internet service provider connected, appears to me, then internet back. I went downstairs, I went all over the place, I was checking connections, there was not a fucking thing I could do about it, and then at one point in time the internet just came back. So as well as one, I'm gonna find me and demonstrate you basically exactly how that looked like. Or why not even do this, waste more time with this stuff. I'm just gonna finish this video whenever they're gonna give the internet back. I did some Black Friday shopping today, and Mom was the one. My mother was involved in this lunacy, this psychiatric violence during MKUltra. They would be here at the table, and all kinds of people. One would be here and would left, and would be another one that would come and would talk about shit about whatever, AliExpress, eBay. And occasionally I would get the visits from psychiatrists, cops, police, other police, garbage that would insist, oh well, don't buy it, that kind of stuff. So the mother, after I was done with Mom buying that stuff from the Black Friday, left inside of her room, which is located on the other side of the house, quite the opposite of the kitchen. And once she got in there, the neighbor Mohar started to pull the car out with lights, with rear lights, white lights, giving the signal. And this is what they were doing during MKUltra. They would deliver me and demand for me to see the cars where they would be backing up the cars to see the ambulance vehicles and stuff like this. That's not a Maher, but the one who married the girl from Maher. Yeah, that guy is gonna have to explain himself a little bit in respect to that stuff. He was very normal individual. He acted like a very normal, nice individual. But right now, when I recall this stuff, when I recall the stuff that I have just seen right now, it appears to me that he was crazy, more than normal. That it was just. That's why I did not talk about him. That he was also not any different than others. I mean, Berger and Peterlin and all this stuff. They were doing crazy stuff, really sick stuff. They got addicted to psychiatry for all the wrong reasons. I mean, they did not accomplish anything. It must be embarrassing like this when somebody keeps talking and revealing all about the stuff you did and the stuff you do. This must be quite stupid, actually, and you're getting nowhere with it. I mean, not with the psychiatry, not with the police. I mean, you're making yourself stupid. I mean, eventually you're going to have a police here, and it's not going to be even a Slovenian police, you know. And they'll ask you questions, and they'll press through Slovenian prosecutors who don't want to hear anything about this. Eventually they're going to press through them, and eventually you're going to go to the court, and you're going to find yourself in a courtroom. You know, eventually that shit is going to happen. Eventually Slovenia will release this stuff. And it's not going to be a happy day for Slovenia. I don't know what to do with it. Just the way you see it. I'm just cut from the internet, and the question remains whether I was cut from the internet service provider company or I was cut simply from the neighbors. Because it's a Wi-Fi and it's not protected like this. And so now the question remains whether this stuff is done by the neighbors or is done by the internet service provider company. That's what this is. It's just a question. Yeah, this shit looks like as if you would not have connected the cable from the internet into a router or something like that. But it is. I mean, it is. The only one that can do this, I believe, is either a service provider, internet service provider, or literally a neighbors. Unless the mother went and pulled the cable out, which I don't think she did. She did. We can check this out too. It's completely identical, and this is what it looks like basically. That's what that looks like. I'm thinking about what the fuck people see when they see this shit, this stuff here. What you actually see is ongoing police intervention in our house that had the cables that I would buy. They would destroy the cables, and this was no exception. This cable also was decimated, destroyed by the police. They would also pull the cable from my room exactly to the area of the telephone, attach it exactly to the router that I was using, and that's exactly what was, I'm not going to say used during MK Ultra. That's not what the fuck I'm saying, because this is a Wi-Fi. Now, if there was a Wi-Fi and I would be visiting certain websites when I was actually not visiting them, that would be a clear message that you know, from the internet service provider, that would give the addresses which I would visit through the local home here network. But that's exactly what they were doing. They were using this Wi-Fi here, not using but demonstrating me. This basically is incitement in a paranoia. Police officers from Novomesto police station are not such a cretins that they would go, of course, and use your own home Wi-Fi. You know, MK Ultra, when it comes to police, what MK Ultra is basically incitement in a paranoia. That's basically their job. That's basically what requires their job. When they investigate a lot of mistakes that people make, and professionally are directly related to this type of issue. So, but in my case, when they victimize somebody, when they torture somebody, what they do is they try to portray one as a paranoid. And that's exactly what they were doing all along. They were doing everything best to portray me as paranoid. So the router, the Wi-Fi router, my Wi-Fi router was, I was never using Wi-Fi router until, I don't know, like 2016 or something, I started to use a Wi-Fi router, something like that, when I went downstairs and stuff like this. But I wasn't using Wi-Fi. I had Wi-Fi router, but I wasn't using one. I didn't feel good about because of what went on during MK Ultra, because of the neighbors interacting with Wi-Fi, cutting the internet off all the time, because of I was driven insane, because they were telling me about how they watch my computer through my open Wi-Fi network and all kinds of issues like this. So I wasn't using that kind of stuff. Seldomly I was using it. It actually really, I didn't know what to do with it, whether to use it or not to use it, because of what went on during MK Ultra. But police frequently would put Wi-Fi directly into their area next to the telephone, or inside of the living room area, which is the room where is where they would also put the Wi-Fi router. Were they using Wi-Fi router? Like I said, most likely not. Okay, most likely not. The internet service provider company executives, as well as installers, technicians, I should say, were all involved in it. Everybody was involved in this stuff. So what are you going to do? What can you do under circumstances like this? So I kind of established that the internet connection was actually cut off by the internet service provider company. Yeah, and they probably want me to say, oh, it's neighbors, it's this and that. I don't think so. Look, I think it's actually yeah, I don't have the internet service that I would demonstrate any of that stuff, but I think it's probably weather related. That's what they're gonna say, maybe that it's weather conditions or something like that. So that's what that is. Here is the date and time. I don't have a capacity to connect myself to the internet, as you know. To me personally, the way it looks like, the internet, it's actually working. I don't even understand this. I disabled the Ethernet, so I would put the cable inside of the computer and use that one and see immediately whether that is it. But I disabled it, so that thing is not going to do me any good either. Now I have connected one inside the cable, basically. but that's not going to do me any good. That's totally different story, and it's just not doing any good, like I said. What it does, if you don't have the internet connected, right? Then you only get two lights like this, you see? It's just two lights. Just like this, you see that? Just two lights, that's all you get. So, my bet is that they did the internet. I'm pretty sure they did. I have connected to next to the Netgear. I'll show you this down here. Now I know what's going on. Now I know what's going on. This was Mom who did this shit. It was Mom who did it. Mother did it. No, she did not. She did. She did it. Mom did it. Unfucking believable. She's not in the right state of mind, man. You are able to see the light from the internet. She did not. Wow. Just wow. That's it, folks. That's all I can do. That's not Mom who did this. I was pretty sure that this was connected actually to this one, yellow one, and once I connected it here, but this is not where you're supposed to connect to this yellow. You're supposed to put the blue one. So I started to believe that Mom took from the blue one and connected to the middle one, and she didn't. She was not the one. That's an internet service provider. This actually shit is so sick that you don't know who the fuck is doing this stuff and what the fuck is going on. Since I changed this issue to connect automatically, then this is what we are dealing with since. You see, connect automatically. I change it to this here, and this is what already second time I am cut from the internet. Before, however, they would cut me whenever they would want to cut me. So this actually works when they try to cut you, throw you out of the internet. This actually prevents the stuff like that. It might have been more than once already they did this stuff to me. So they started to do something else, maybe even using the internet service provider to do this stuff. That's quite insane. Yeah, that's the way it is. No, I don't have any internet. All I can do is I can go also downstairs and check the internet and see what's going on. If somebody is connected over there downstairs. So it was worth it to get after this stuff and do the stuff. It's all good. It worked out very well. Eventually, it's also the stuff they were talking to me during MK Ultra, and it just would not come to me. It just didn't come to me. Let me demonstrate you. As you see, the internet connection is again back. It's connected. It's not limited. Everything is working in a good, friendly manner. So what exactly happened here? Well, I left the salami outside I was just eating, and I left sardines outside that I did not even eat. I just had the oil pour into a cup, basically, with sardines sitting right on the top. I found the sardines and I was, oh wow, sardines, because this is the way it is. And so in the middle of the washing clothing, I washed 3 pieces of clothing, and I sipped the water in a bucket. I let that sit over there in the sink, you know, for the fabric to soften itself, and so everything goes out easier before soaking it into detergent. This is basically the way I do. And then rinsing it off. This is also a proper way, I believe, of cleaning, because you get all the stain, everything you get out nice, clean. You end up with a clean piece of clothing. I came here and I lay down and I started to read the letter about it was the letter about it was a letter about a Thanksgiving, this kind of stuff here. The man, both of them, entire family was involved in this stuff here. That's a son right there that you see right there, and that's a man who was involved. Also, the son also was involved. This man not completely telling the whole thing because he wanted me to identify him. So this kind of stuff. He got his driver license, I think, about 3 months before he had this incident with, or maybe not even 3 months before he had this incident with a car. And he had an incident with a car, I understand, on a Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving in America is on November the 27th. See, I had to look up to that stuff because for me every day is just another day. I'm just happy to see other people celebrating. Actually, recently I was really not, because I was really angry about it, the whole thing. I thought it was like nasty, selfish. It's also something they discussed about it in MK Ultra, but anyhow, the sun that you see right there on the... Alright, since they cut me a fucking internet, alright. The sun that you see right there on the right side, I'm gonna do some of this stuff here. Sun that you see right there on the right side. man right here that you see. John is to the left. Okay, John is to the left, and Vernon is to the right. Okay, so this would be Vernon, right? And this would be John right here, who was involved in this with his entire family. I remember his dad, I remember his father, I remember his sister, too damn bad that he wrote down that he had a sister. Anyhow, I was interested very in his sister, and his sister went on to get the university done. He too, I don't know if he did it because of me or not, but I would not give him a break. That was John. And this here, that's Vernon, right? So Vernon, his name is Schmitz, and if you pay attention to this, I gotta make it a little bit longer, sorry, because you don't understand anything about what goes on. What goes on is that I'm being surveillanced 24/7, and not only on the internet, but clearly also inside the house. How they do it, what they do it. Earlier, I told you about how they knew that I'm gonna go into my mother's room, and in a certain moment I see the car pulling out based on MKUltra scenario, which psychiatrists from Ljubljana Polio with the police, with this animal here from Novo Mesto rehearsed over and over again. To understand me, basically, when I see this article like here, I just lost myself. You know, I was going to leave that to soak itself a little bit in the water. Truth is, I totally have forgot. I'm tired because I don't get sleep the way it's supposed to. So I forgot that I actually left the fish out there for the oil to drip out, and I just forgot the salami on the table. That's true. And I went on to read this article here. Okay, these people are here inside of our house, not once but more times, with the CNN, and they hosted me at this ranch here that you see, this Schmitz ranch. This is a ranch from the father, you know, of Vernon. Oh, this is beautiful. I even remember when he posted this stuff. And I'm not sure if I remember this when he posted this stuff, but I remember when we were talking about this stuff. Well, he claimed that that's what he posted. What am I gonna say to you? A son. No, okay, this is what I wanted to demonstrate you. So John wanted me to go and search for this place, which I'm not gonna do. I was at the Johnson University. He'd go what for culinary, and all that stuff. This place, Warsaw, over there in the middle of the Missouri. This is where the Yugoslavs, Serbs, Slovenes, I should say, they always wanted to go through a Warsaw, and they insisted, Americans, Warsaw, Missouri. I didn't want to have nothing to do with the Warsaw. There was so much torture that went on in Poland that I was really not interested in any Warsaw. But, well, they insisted, and Americans gave them basically whatever they insisted on. Where the hell is the Missouri? That's the Missouri right there. Look, I'm not the most Slavic person. All right, I'll be honest with you. I'm not a most Slavic person. I don't give a three fuck about all that stuff, Slavic stuff. I don't care about it. I really do not, because I'm more like disgusted with that stuff. Okay, I'm really not the type for that stuff. You don't want to go and You know, I actually, quite honestly, I'm just minding my own stuff. I try to help people. I try to make the sense for the people to understand what life is all about here in Eastern Europe. But I'm not into Warsaw and Moscow and Belgrade and stuff like that. I don't like it. I'll be honest with you. The people are far from fucking reality, detached from reality too much. And that I would go and champion something like this, I will not. I don't care about the glory and about recognition and about all that other bullshit. I don't want any of that stuff. We are doing this stuff because you scum did not want to pay whatever you owed. That's what it is, and that goes, a lot has to do with the Poland. It's because you didn't want something like this in Eastern Europe, because you had your established ways of envy, selfishness, egoism, sadism, and that kind of stuff. And I'm not into it. I think that's it. I'm not going to even say what. Okay, I'm not the most Slavic person. You don't want to go and talk to me about the Slavs and Slavic and this and that. I just don't like that stuff. It's just as simple as this. It's not the right person. I'm not the right person for that stuff. Very, very, very not the right person. I'm going to put it this way. Very, very not the right person. I met a lot of nice people in Poland, and I met nice people in Belarus, Russians included. I met nice people in Slovenia, and I met nice people in you can meet nice people everywhere. You understand? I'm not denying this stuff, that you cannot find nice people everywhere. You understand? But the problem with this shit here is that they put the politics in front of the basic human needs and understanding, basically the human. You understand? And that kind of interferes with fact that they were ultra violent, talking about their governments, fact that they were murderous as it gets, poisonous and spine breaking and sadistic and criminal through forced unemployment. You know, you don't want to go and search in something Slavic in me, because you're going to find a rage. You're not going to find something nice. You're not going to find what you are looking for. It is just as simple. You detached me from what your normalities are, because you sentenced me to death too many times, million times, from house to house, from city to city, from village to village. But I'm not going to say that I did not find nice people. People are nice when either they don't know who you are, or they are nice when I don't even know why. Okay, sometimes because they try to cover up the stuff they were involved in, or they're nice because maybe they really like you. Okay, maybe there is more to this that I don't know, but I'm not the most Slavic person. This is just the way it is. Seriously, I don't know. I just found more sympathy for me in Asian people, and in literally African people, and in I don't know what kind of people. It's not okay. And I found the sympathy in Germans, and I found the sympathy in Americans, and white Americans, and in Latinos, and but when it comes to Slavic people, I just somehow I'm trying to make sense. I'm trying to make you understand what the fuck you are like. They're like totally sick, like brainwashed to with their anthems, and all these anthems are aligned with some kind of philosophy toward Moscow, like Mama Russia. You know what I mean? And all those anthems and all that folklore they have and all that national pride they have, it's so fucking stupid. It presents each nationality individual, and each nationality Slavic individual individually ends when it comes to fucking Russia or Serbia, here down on the Balkans, with basically terminating everything about your national awareness and national pride when it comes to Serbia or Russia, demanding basically for you to subdue yourself to the Russians or to the Serbs. And all of a sudden, therefore, it's like completely erased everything they were instilling in you about your homeland, about your people, and so on. I am not the right I'm not the right guy for this. This is fucking stupid. It's fucking stupid. We have a tremendous war over there with the 10 million people homeless, basically, in Ukraine. 6 million searching for the work throughout the Europe. 4 million homeless back home in Ukraine. With Russia bombing, plundering Ukraine, killing, stealing, robbing country of its existence, basically, nation of its existence. But, you know, at the end of the day, the only words that I'm stuck with is basically Zelensky, who stated me, well, we don't want to go and kill Russian civilians because, you know, we want to become part of one. You know, if we're going to get united, we're going to get part of one and that kind of stuff. I mean, it was a lot of that kind of stuff that went on. And now the Ukrainians can feel this stuff on their own skin. You know, you kind of understand what the fuck I'm talking about. Fuck your, you know, Slavic this and that, and you have to fuck protect what is yours, and what is yours the most. Do you know what it is? Is whatever God gave you. It's your life. You understand? You got to fucking protect it, motherfucker. If you will not, they're gonna fucking rob you of one. It is just as simple. I'm not the right person to accent me this stuff. This Polish nationalism is so funny that it starts with a Polish anthem. It starts with something that makes sense. It's a Polish history and so on, Polish people, and it fucking ends with basically backstabbing you. For the sake of the Serbs, for the sake of the Slovenian scum, for the sake of the Russians, basically. This is how the fuck it all ends. Through also what they refer to as the national interests. They're talking about how much money they get for this case from the Western Illuminatis and stuff like this. And if that's true, if that's even true, I don't know, because Polacks love to poison themselves and incite other people into a hatred and against the NATO and against the European Union and stuff like this. It depends what kind of Polacks do you get into. But what I'm coming from was butthead next to butthead. It was what they refer to as a communist next to communist. It was a lot of people who ran this case. This case was ran by basically Eastern European communist elites, dictators. That's basically what I'm coming from. You got to fucking understand where the hell I'm coming from. And so things did change for better in Poland, and now especially they start to see with their own eyes that the world is round, actually. It's not square. You know, they fucking killed I don't know how many Polacks during the World War II. They took them to Katyn and executed them. And, you know, after the World War II, well, the truth is that because of Russia, because of the Soviet Union, they did get considerable amount of land and got liberated. But, you know, they kind of are stuck in certain philosophies and stuff that I'm not saying, for fuck's sake, to go into war with Russia. I'm not saying to go to the war Well, right now that would be a good time because of Ukraine, but you know, you understand? I'm not saying that you have to go to war with Serbia or whoever. This is not what the fuck I'm saying. I'm just saying that have the fucking respect for everybody equally. And when it comes to Poland, there were Chechens, and they fucking threw them out of the country because of the Russia. Russia said, give us the Chechen back over there, trial over there in the Russia. It was not only Chechens, it was other people from this Abkhazia area and so on. And the only thing that happened is they fucking surrendered them over there to the Russian regime way before this war started, you know? That's what the fuck I'm saying. Be fucking honest with the people. If they come to apply for fucking asylum and if they don't have a criminal record, and if it's a political rhetoric that you defend freedom, liberty, and this and that kind of stuff, then fucking do this. Don't fucking tell people that you're different from the Russians and then fucking act like a Russian inside of the Poland. You know, I have a problem. I have serious fucking problem. My problem, only the people that are not Slavic understand. Only the Chechens and Albanians and, you know, the minorities in this Slavic world are the only people who understand me. Because why they understand me? They would not understand me, but they understand me because they tested on their own skin. That's why they understand me. Enough about this stuff. I don't like the city, Warsaw in Missouri. Simple as this. I don't even like the fucking idea about it. This about other stuff, okay? What is this shit here? Warsaw is the city. This city we always went through here, right through here to the Warsaw. Well, sure it's beautiful, but I wouldn't be there just because it says Warsaw. That's for sure. He went to the school talking about the John here to this city here. The name of this city is Olat. A beautiful name, Olat, Olati, latte. It reminds me of a cup of coffee with, which I'm not supposed to drink anyway, but something like that, whatever. And that's where he was at his school. And then that's St. James. That's basically in Missouri. This is where he would be heading to his grandma. Yeah, I just happen to remember, and grandma and his entire family, and also beyond. There were also some uncles, all kinds of stuff. These people were extremely. This was in 1980. This is when I was like 8 years old. So I was already a really big boy. This makes you feel like you are already 20. No. This is MK Ultra, folks, and you don't understand. So there are different ways you can get through, but I'm pretty sure that he did go through the Warsaw. So now, whatever the hell he was at, and I don't know where he was at, and I'm gonna just take another, whatever, some road here, whatever. I'm gonna try to find me some hill somewhere. Let me just see here, this stuff here. Do they have any hills here? That's a beautiful farm right there, but no, actually that's not even a farm. So he wanted to go and look for that. It might not even be this route, Warsaw, but the Warsaw I have gone through so many times, and if that's just not the Warsaw, that's because they wanted to drive me insane. And I'm not saying this because just I would want to say or anything like that, but that's just the way it is, basically. So, alright, so we're not going to get through this stuff here. Let me just see here. Okay, the point here is that these are just facts about MK Ultra here. Understand? So that's that farm right there that you see right there, right at the top of the hill. Okay, so that's that. And as you would come down to that farm, like right there, the way you see right there, this thing here, the way you see it, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pick one of this like this. That will be let's just say, okay, let's just hypothetically say that that's a road right there like this. Okay, so let's say you make it down to the road, and then his son, the one you see right there on the picture on the right side, in a little bit you're gonna see one. Okay, he is located his house where he used to live very, very, very closely. Oh shit. There you go. We gotta do it like this. You gotta do it like this. And I have no effing idea. Maybe 20 meters away from once you hit the road down. Okay. It's his house. Maybe it's, I don't know if it's more than 50 meters. Maybe, alright. Maybe I give you up to 50 meters, 40 meters I give you. So the home, and it's on this side of the road. That's basically on the opposite side of the road. Alright? So that's just, you know that I was there. Okay. Since we are doing this kind of stuff. Okay? So I see this article, and I just so the John is the one I'm encircling now, right? And the man that I told you who lives right there, right, is the son of Mr. Leitnau Schmitz, is the one that you see right there. Okay, so this one here, he got his license about, you know what? Januari, March, April, May, Juni, Juli, August, September, October, November, December, January, March, April, May, Juni, Juli, August, September. I believe that he got his license. This was a big subject of manipulation, this stuff here. His driver license date. I don't know, man. Very tough call to make because of animals that were involved in it. Talking about the Slovenian police. These animals here from Novo Mesto. Those truly were animals. And so the picture itself, the one that you see right there, the picture right there, the way you see the picture is really totally misleading, and these people know about this. Both of these guys know about this stuff. That's what's really fucked up. See, this is where I have the problem with it, with both of you guys. The problem that I have with both of you guys is that you guys knew that Slovenian police would take me to another location, and they would rehearse this incident which you had in 1980. What they would do is they would rehearse this incident on maybe who knows how many occasions on completely another location. And on that location you would have, do you see the home in the background, this house here in the background here? Do you see it? See this house? Shit. They would have homes, two houses like this, right, one next to another like this, right at the top of the hill. And this is what both of you know about this stuff. Vernon and John, you both know about that stuff. Because the stuff you did is extremely unethical. And what they would do is, it was exactly like this family, and they were exactly rehearsing exactly the same kind of incident that John experienced in 1980. And they went on to rehearse this incident for about another 30 years, driving me insane. with what was a blonde guy that had a wife, beautiful wife, and then kids and stuff like this, who lived right next door to his parents. You know what I mean? Yeah? And from the article, the way you read the article, it's written in such a way that he lived right next to his... This one did live, but he lived exactly the way I explained. As you come down to the road, and then that's his place. But another location that they imprinted in my head is a location which there are two houses just like this. They look one next to another, the parents' house and this house. Very, very extremely misleading article from CNN, by the way, when comparing one to an MK Ultra. But you know, you don't get through with this stuff. You don't get through with this. Hey, you didn't get through anything through, by the way. You tried this also with other issues. I just have to post the videos on the internet, and you know, it's not gonna work out, this stuff. See, when you look at that, it looks like there are two houses over there. See that stuff? And so, two totally different situations with all the people knew about this stuff, because the stuff I'm talking about was actually written based on MK Ultra manipulation. That's basically severe torture which took place on not only on one, I suspect at least on two other locations similar to this one. And then based on the police interrogation questions and interaction with you, the answers you give, the feedback that you give, the impression that you get, is basically the CNN article that was written. Based on my observation, extremely misleading. Extremely misleading. I'm not going to go into it this time. I'm going to take some other time to do this. But that's basically how they do it. They interrogate everything about what your impression is about certain things with reality. That's what this is. Simple as this. It's weird. It's really weird, because it's also interesting because the same shit applied to the driver license from John. Driver license, all that stuff. It started in May. January, February, March, April, May. That's still spring, you know? The impression that I got is that he actually, this was my first impression, that he got his license within like month 2. That's basically sometime, but by June that he had a driver license. But that was just not the case according to his father, who insisted me that the problem was that I even got the stories that it was not even 2 months before he had it on this trip that he had a driver license. So this is like extremely fucked up. Extremely difficult to tell. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, like September, you know? August, and that he had no experience, that kind of stuff, and it was his mistake, first drive and this and that, and that's how all this stuff happened, and he was extremely lucky and that kind of stuff. So you see that this shit, this is not every one of this they put on the internet like this to remind me of the stuff that went on during MK Ultra. I could end up fucking writing a book about it, because it not involve only one incident, one case, but a whole lot more. There's too many books like this involved in what turned out to be 48 years long MK Ultra case, almost 50 years long MK Ultra case, 49 years old long MK Ultra case. Then you can imagine what went on with this stuff. And so I started to read this, Then I saw some really a video pertaining to his name is McLeod. He is already late actor. He passed away in 2006, and he was a sheriff in New York on a movie set only from, I don't know, until 1977. And they had me involved in it. And in 1989, they brought me to the New York, and they wanted to excite me tremendously because I somehow finished this stupid school for mechanic, and I entered further for mechanical technician, for mechanical engineering technician. I did some examinations really impressively, had that, and brought me to the New York on this premiere of this, The Return of McLeod, sheriff from New York, and the guy's fucking riding horse in the middle of the New York City. Then I have some people who just booed me, and this guy with a horse over there on the riding in the middle of the street. This is in your honor, that kind of stuff. I see that stuff. It reminds me of the shit that went on, and I said to myself, holy fuck, I said, with a lunacy that went on one side, people booing me, yo, you have not seen anything in the world if you have not seen this case. And on the other side, insisting me that I am the one riding the horse over there, that this is to my honor and stuff like this. They are waiting for me in New York, sheriff in New York and stuff. Boy, I said to myself, I don't know how the fuck I did this. I studied this shit psychologically to understand what the hell they were doing with me. And on the other hand, I see another video, and that one actually pertains to what is Clint Eastwood, and which was repeated, I don't know how many times they rehearsed that stuff. We have me literally in New York with a lady that talks about with Clint Eastwood present. He comes with a plane and he has the police station, I don't know, deliver somebody arrested or whatever, and or comes to pick up whoever arrested, and is inside with the police chief in New York, and he's listening, investigator, police chief, the lady. He must wait for her to finish her speech, and she talks about how she just keeps saying that at the police station that it was this one that raped her, and that police officer that raped her, and that one that raped her, and that one that raped her, and the lady is probably in her late 80s. Not exactly the material that probably would appeal to, obviously this is what they suggest, to fine-looking police officers from New York in that sense, and that stuff was used by the psychiatrist cops, by the garbage from Novomesto police station, to suggest me that this is who I am, that this is who I am. Are you this? Are you this? Is this like your lady that you're saying that this kind of stuff, that that basically comparing this to you were involved. So I was thinking about what the fuck they were doing to me during MK Ultra, to discourage you, to rip you apart, to shred you to pieces. It's impossible to tell. This is no joke. There is a reason why people go blow themselves up and hurt themselves and or other people and so on. There's a big reason for that stuff. That's a big reason what's going on over there. It's a zoo. It's a real zoo. Yeah, and meanwhile, of course, I have the clothing that's soaked over there in the water inside of the kitchen, waiting for me in the bucket to finish the job, with a fish also and so on. And all of a sudden, shook, kaboom, eh? Now what happens? The internet is cut. How many times it cut me the internet, I don't even know. But I did develop PTSD because of the internet disconnections. There is absolutely no doubt about it, because it was involved in MK which is one of the issues. And when they started, Yerman here, the neighbor, his name is there are two brothers. One is Denko and the other one is Tine. Tine Yerman claimed me. He claimed me, and the way they talk to you during MK that's their job. The job of the police is to drive you nuts and portray you as mentally ill, discredit you, basically, make you discredit yourself through. Well, they awarded me with a certificate of the paranoid schizophrenia in 2012, right? So this goes just da-da-da. That's how they wanted to do. That's how they wanted to portray this whole thing as. Insisted that he has a kill switch at his home. Yeah? With Borut Pahor involved in it. With the real politicians from Ljubljana. Milan Kučan, Robert Golob, top people from police station, that you do know, right? You do know that every house has a kill switch. And this goes to the times of this Soviet Union, of this Soviet shit. See, when I talked to you about the Poland a little earlier, I'm oftentimes asking myself about, why the fuck did you Polacks even go to have your own country? Seriously. I mean, you couldn't stand that I became American citizen. You couldn't fucking stand, you couldn't bear it that I could become financially wealthy. You had problem with the wealth, you had a problem with my freedom, with absolutely everything. Why the fuck did you go out of the Soviet Union? You know, I'm really not the person, Slavic person that you want to go and, you know, I'm not the right person for that stuff. Honestly, I'm not. I have some unfinished business to do in respect to this. Every house, you do know that every house has a kill switch, right? A kill switch. Kill switch meaning that, you know where the phone line is, where the internet and all that stuff, the kill switch, bam, and there is no internet. And when I recall this shit about the kill switch, it's something else that prompted me. If it's a kill switch, of course there's no such thing like a kill switch, but a paranoia from the police, yes. There is a simple way of checking out what the fuck is going on with the internet connection. And so the only thing that what we do is we just check the telephone line and we see whether the telephone line is working or not. Yes, I did not video record that stuff, but I did go there and I checked the telephone line to see what's going on with the telephone line. And there was no signal, there was no phone signal. So I knew exactly what's going on. Interesting, because just a few minutes earlier I was downstairs and I climbed up there, right down below, and I checked on the that's called a modem, right? Where you have this connection that comes to the house, the cable that goes through the modem, then goes into the to the different routers and these TV boxes, whatever that is, etc., etc., etc. So it's not a Wi-Fi router, this is a modem we're talking about. So I went on to check that stuff and I couldn't see shit. For the hell of it, I would do. Everything was connected, everything was nice, everything was okay. So fuck it. I go upstairs, nothing. And I'm thinking about, talk to me about the internet switch, the paranoia pertaining to the internet switch. And then I realized exactly what the fuck is going on. I said to myself, if you want to know what's going on with the internet, what you do is you check the telephone, if the telephone is working. And so I went and I checked the telephone. And what happened was the telephone did not work, just as I stated you. And the next thing I did was I went out downstairs again. I climbed up those boxes again up there. And what I did was I took the match and chip one into a reset button and reset the router. Why did I do this stuff? I did this stuff because now there is something that there is known as a kill switch. There is such a thing like a kill switch. You know what a kill switch is? The kill switch are the pockets, the internet pockets that your internet service provider can shoot you into your router and fuck you up. The router, jam you the, not the router, sorry, the modem. That's called a kill switch. There is actually such a thing like a kill switch. That's basically when your internet service provider shoots you something into your modem, wherever they do, I do not know. But I told you that they were involved in it, and they told me that if there will be anything like this, whatever it's going to be, and I compared that with the paranoia pertaining to the kill switch, which the neighbor Tina Yerman insisted. It's a kill switch, that he has a kill switch at home. To make the sense out of it. Okay, to make the sense out of it. Yeah, absolutely somebody is trying to, and that's what they were doing during MK Ultra. There was nothing good out of these people that were coming here, except the girls. I will never go after girls, because girls, it's a different thing, unless some really crazy case or whatever. But, man, you fucking, I don't know what I would want to say about this stuff. You were the one. You know, the man can do nothing, you know. You're gonna go and you're gonna blame the ladies for it. Come on. I mean, seriously. I don't do that. I have to come to the core, to the point of this. It doesn't matter only, this isn't about only getting the internet back. Fuck that. The point about this stuff, what the point about this stuff is. Okay. The point about this stuff is that I told you earlier, Black Friday is, I did some purchasing that had to be done. And how the neighbors started to pull the car. They knew that I'm going to go over there to mom and stuff. Based on MK Ultra scenario, totally based on MK Ultra scenario. I know that he did not have it doesn't matter. The point here is that somebody is watching this shit, and this is not a paranoia. Somebody, again, tried to how the hell do you say that? Patronize, you know, about, and this is the stuff that went all the time during MK Ultra. They all the time talking about the police. They all the time treated me like I did something wrong, like you did something wrong, like you did something wrong, wrong. Everything the fuck you did was wrong. Yeah, the system based on MK Ultra is all the time, when it comes to cleaning and all kinds of stuff that you have to do during MK Ultra, it's pertaining, you still didn't do this, you still didn't do this, you still didn't do this. If I see you doing this, literally with the physician who came to pick me up with ambulance vehicle on October 2024 at the police station involving this kind of stuff. That's MK Ultra, it's that you fucking ring in your ears. These nasty fuckers. Torture, you know, we're talking about the torture here. We're talking about some interaction or something like that. That's the point. That's why this is so important to clarify, right? I come out, I didn't even understand what the hell happened. I didn't even pay attention, and I end up losing 1 hour recording, checking what the fuck is going on with the internet connection. Finally, once I'm done, I go to the kitchen, and then hell I see that I forgot and the sardines and this and that. But you fucking interfere with a person, basically disrupt, interrupt, and totally dement person with whatever flow he is doing. And you're not doing anything good like this. You guys are stealing from the blog 50 of those sardines every day. If I turn that into money, at least 50 euros what I would get on a daily basis when it comes to the blog. And I never earn a single fucking cent with this blog. You understand? You guys are fucking stealing 50 of those cans every fucking day. What the fuck is to you? You're not paying the bills. You got my father over there at home for elderly people. You destroyed him. Mom is paying these bills, and she's paying these bills so that you look somehow legitimate because you just don't want, you didn't want to pay what you owe already when the Soviet Union, the latest, fell down, collapsed itself down, and you owe a whole lot of money. And you go and you fucking patronize about how much the sardines are worth based on MK Ultra brainwash, based on the violence that you did. And it involved how you have to put immediately food inside. Božičnik, Zajšek, Juršić. I had this animal, Stefanich, here inside of the house, teaching me how many minutes can only meat be outside before it spoils and this and that, like I'm fucking animal or something like that. What the fuck, eh? You know what I mean? Extremely violent, extremely malicious, and positioning yourself through abuse, through torture, through damage causing in a role of a patron. In the same exact fucking way as they claim me, we got throw you into the psychiatric hospital one more time, and then it's going to be a novel mass of police officers that they're going to come and demand to bail you out for you to come out of the psychiatric hospital. Sick shit like this. Hey, you don't have to worry about me. That's okay. One way or the other, you're going to go into jail. With you coming to psychiatric hospital, or you're not coming to the psychiatric hospital, me going into the psychiatric hospital, me not going to the psychiatric hospital, there's not a fucking thing you can do to change the course where this thing is going, heading. There's only one way you can change it. It's basically getting me killed, and that's all there is to it. Folks, I would say thanks for watching this video. Till next time. But it's like anything else that I missed on this stuff. I did told you about the John and about the Vernon Schmitz. Vernon Schmitz was always a nice guy, but they also had stuff going on that farm. And when it comes to John, John was involved in a shady stuff, not a nice stuff. He was a nice kid till he grew up. He got his degree and such. And I guess that he was also into some other stuff, whatever he was into. There is more to his story than the photos he is posing with. He insisted that I was inside of his car when this incident actually took place. While there is a possibility for something like this have taken place, I am not going to deny it. Maybe there is something like this. There were also incidents that took place. I, however, am not capable, memory-wise, to trace that stuff. And I have also learned that based on police interaction through MK Ultra in the US, exactly as I described it, for people that were involved in MK Ultra, when they stop them, they have a traffic violations rather than to be sentenced or directly face criminal charges whenever those offenses were committed, they would refer them to. You do understand that every MK Ultra case have dedicated police. That means a law enforcement, completely apart from the rest of law enforcement. That means that under every driver license, or every person that is stopped, is the police officer pull the data about a certain person. If this person is either involved in MK Ultra, as a staff member, as a participant, or is a victim of MK Ultra, he immediately will have followed up on him a team of the police officers through whom he interacts in respect to MK Ultra. You do realize that kind of stuff, that usually, no, they have them also at the sheriff's department, and they also have them inside of the police departments. I've seen too much of this stuff. I've seen it. This is the way it is. There is more entered on driver licenses under information, general information of the people, than just what you think. There is a special information that is entered in the register, in the computer, in the registry of the people. They don't tell you this, and this is a very, very bad thing already. But anyhow, that's the way it is. So that they would attend certain judges also. That's why you have judges, police, physicians. You have all kinds of people involved in MK Ultra from every branch of work, that they might either assist you, or they might, if you're involved in MK Ultra case, or there's like a, I'm not gonna say like a club of criminals, because it's too difficult to even resist this shit. It's difficult. It's like a membership of VIP membership, like certain governing elite in a certain society that connects with, again, other governing elite in a different society, and possibly interact with it, exchange knowledge and business and so on, or military or whatever, technology or whatever, or any kind of technology. So you would go typically to the apart judge or judge that is in your system, but is also doing certain issues pertaining to the violations that you committed and so on. And yeah, then you would work out through the community service. You would probably have to attend something and that kind of stuff. And then what they would do is you would repeat with the police this incident whenever they would inquire you, and you would have to do this exactly based on original interaction you had with law enforcement officers, who of course are wearing body cameras much longer than what is officially even recognized. With that being said, what else would the hell I say about this? About the internet, nothing. If you ever have the internet situation like the one I had, just remember there is such a thing like a kill switch. Except that the one who does have this kill switch is not like it used to be in old times. Somebody that would just click the button and it would be just something that would cut off your phone line while all others would have the phone lines. I bet that in good old Soviet Yugoslav times it was like this, but these days what they do is they either have, and this is what neighbor Metod Tina Yerman was talking to me about this. They talked to me about these pockets. They did talk about that stuff. They said either it's going to be from Ljubljana that they will do that to you. They have certain people that jam you, technicians that jam you your internet connection, or I will do it. he is also some IT guy, knows about the computers and stuff like this, a technician, computer technician, whatever, and he interacted with these people. This house next door. The thing is that even so much lunacy going on that you don't know who the fuck was doing what the fuck was doing. But today we learn about the internet kill switch. Yes, there is such a thing like internet kill switch. They send you packets or whatever, they send you to jam your modem and go reset the modem, and you're gonna have the internet back if you see something like this ever happening to you. This was literally done through internet service provider, with possibility of internet service provider giving, this is what the neighbor claimed, him an option to log himself into a T2 system, which is not really believable. That sounds to me more like a paranoia, but possibly him sending signal to somebody in Ljubljana to just do that kind of stuff. Yet this is the world where we live in. This is how we live these days. Yeah, thanks for watching this video. I hope you learned something about this stuff. This is not paranoia, this is facts. The individual who indoctrinated me about the kill switch, this is our house right there, and this is his house right here. He lives right here at the top. His name is Tine Jerman. Tine Jerman is his name, and this is a brother of his police officer is a brother, Zdenko Jerman. This is the paranoiac who engaged in Mount Everest of torture as a neighbor since my early childhood, and insisted that he will be given a kill switch, and the kill switch eventually will be in a form of a computer, in a form of computerized system located in Ljubljana. They talking about Robert Golob here. Milan Kuchan talking about this wonder. The politicians, the usuals. This garbage. He insisted that by literally delivering me into a company from supposedly T2, I guess that will be a support for the customers. I have no idea. And I do suppose that that was in Ljubljana. How the fuck do I know where the hell that was? But that probably was in Ljubljana. Customer service, whatever service that was. They had nothing like this. They had nothing like this. They had a company. Appeared to me like, not like a sales, like a sales location, but it appeared to me they had computers located. Actually, that stuff really supposedly is in Ljubljana, but the thing is that this is just upstairs. It's not downstairs, but that will be upstairs. And what they would do is they insisted they have the ability, the capacity to disable and that's what will take place in the future, a modem. And also that this individual here, however, they did not claim this. They did not claim that. They suggested that this will be the case. Yes, they suggested that this, in a parenthesis, neighbor, right where it says here, Keglaško društvo, that in fact he would be the one who would be given the access to log himself into this T2 network as an ex-IT technician, and eventually, based on surveillance, based on watching me, stuff that I do inside of the house, have a capacity to simply take the modem down, therefore cut a telephone line and cut internet connection. This is what the brainwash was. Now let's just jump a little bit to the street here. It's called Kočevarjeva ulica, where the animals are in blue. These are the animals who insisted, in fact, talking about Zajček, talking about garbage that was inside of our, that barricaded itself in our house ongoingly for over 30 years. They barricaded themselves inside of our house. 40 years they would come here to barricade themselves in our house. Insisted and also demonstrated me with the neighbors the ability, like let's say Aleš Berger demonstrated me with also Peterlin here, their ability basically, or the room that you see right there, how is it look like when the room is video recorded inside, meaning that they might have actually made a video recording of a room with other people inside, including with me inside, and were demonstrating me this stuff during MK Ultra to make me either a paranoid or there might be a completely other issue in it. Zajček personally with Andrei Štefanic, a funny man, was demonstrated me repeatedly with Juršić, with other garbage, with investigators, video recordings of a terrace area for which, together with a female who came to investigate even the incident here at the end of the village, the whole police group insisted me on how they will have a capacity to watch me inside of the kitchen, a little through the balcony area, that they have a cameras on the balcony area. It was completely indifferent with other areas inside of the house. When I was inside of the Poland, there's a website called OLX. You did get add to on PL, and then you go to Neruchomości, a real estate. If I get lucky, actually this is better. It's not a real estate, it's a rentals. And what you can see is identical shit to the one that took place in Slovenia, except from the bird perspective. If you would go and you would search for the room, come on, fuck off. I'm not gonna go right now. Hey, fuck off with this stuff. And I would have to look for this shit anyhow. No. let's. Do you see what I see here? It's like extremely slow. I didn't even type right now, and yes, odrzucenie wszystkiego. Wow. Alright, I guess we're not going to get through this stuff. I was going to show you a few apartment units. For them, it's from the bird perspective. Not like this, but literally from the top or from the ceiling, literally down. They would make a photos demonstrating their rooms, their areas, literally from the up, down, from the ceiling down rooms. It is exactly what I have gone through during MK Ultra with the Polish police insisting me on how I will be monitored in whatever, inside of the areas, whatever I will be inside of the Poland. So, would that be a paranoia? If that was a paranoia, I doubt if you are drugged up as I was, ongoingly, 24/7, 24 hours, 7 days a week, for no less than 11 years at least. And they repeat you this kind of stuff, that somebody is watching you, and we see you, and this and that and so on, like a dogs. And then at the same time they follow you whatever the fuck you go inside of the house, giving you signs from the outside. I doubt that you would not actually believe that you are being watched. Now, you can watch people in a different ways these days. The police, for instance, they have the ability to see people inside of the closed areas, inside of the closed spaces, through the heat system. So you have a heat system that you could go and see people in which areas of the house they actually are moving, where exactly they are at. They have many different ways of surveillance and actually see the person exactly what person is doing inside. Not necessary even with the cameras. I'm going to put it this way. Does this concern me? Not very much. I'm not very much worried about it. But when I consider the stuff that I have just explained to you, and it is what they speculated, they expected will result in a schizophrenia, a paranoia. That's a little bit laughable. But of course in Slovenia they can say right now that I said that there are cameras all over the place and that they are watching me and so on and so forth. They can say this shit. Now the only thing I'm saying is basically facts which pertain to a garbage animals, basically in blue. Uniformed in blue animals from the city of the Novo Mesto, as well as what went on inside of the Poland. These are fucking animals anyways, really. That was about the only thing these animals were capable to ever come up with when it comes to MK Ultra. When it comes to assistance, help, that's exactly what they were ever capable to come up with. That's the distance, basically. This is how their integrity, as far as a police work, as far as I am trying to find one picture to show you what the hell that looks like. That's exactly what they brain massaged me with during MK Ultra. I've seen a lot of that stuff inside of the Poland. When I was in Poland, I actually video recorded that stuff, but I would just not put these things out. You know, I didn't want to publish any of this stuff here. So it's a little bit tough to know what is true, what is not, what is fiction, what is reality, because of thoroughly they follow up with the stuff. They follow up with the stuff so thoroughly. The man who demanded for my blog to be taken down was Donald Trump, who, by the way, also insisted this Jew here, Janine Shapiro, who was very, very diligent visitor of our house, this Jew. She's a judge, the Judge Jew, like a Judge Judy, the same shit. It appeared like they were all coming here in the name of assistance, help. But these days, you can clearly see they were coming up for something else. Donald Trump, in fact, was the one who had these 2 National Guards involved in it. And it's hard for me to even believe that the young girl that was shot, I don't know nothing about her. I did not even read the news, simply because this is to say no to Christopher Wray, who insisted, if you will not go, and if you will not identify her, and if you will not identify the guardsmen, and if you will not identify this, and if you will not identify, and if you will not keep identifying, Donald Trump will become a king. This is just to say no to you. I'm not interested in identifying your clusterfuck. This is the stuff that Donald Trump managed to obtain through Federal Bureau investigation, Central Intelligence Agency, and this is the stuff that Donald Trump managed to obtain through the Slovenian police, which was coming to the United States of America on a frequent basis to incite black population, Hispanic, Asian population foremost, into ultra-violence, into violence, thus giving themselves at disposal to Mr. Donald Trump, who is using all kinds of crimes premeditated, arranged through the FBI, already all set up through the Democrats, foremost through the Jewish elite, through the Jews, to get the job done basically the way he wants to get it done. Meaning, it appears to me that you will be left without United States of America. Wet, right on our reign, I should say, without a republic. It looks to me you're going to have a dictator elected. He's electing himself in the United States of America. Yet the biggest stunt Donald Trump have pulled is related to the university. I saw this was a great success. He won by actually having Northwestern pay Donald Trump 75 million American dollars. So now that's what you call something totally outstanding. They were involved in it. They are rotten to the core. They committed themselves to crimes, just like a certain Latinos and blacks did, so that Donald Trump's side can benefit from within, exactly purchased like a bananas in the store. The whole America succumbed on its knees in front of my case, which was used to create the corruption. Christopher Wray, the FBI director Christopher Wray, is the one who ran this shit and continues to run this crime. Just so that you know. As far as this individual here, I'll go on, fuck off with this stuff here. Warsaw, yeah? Yeah, Warsaw for sure. Was bestiality performed like one would not believe. This man also was a visitor of our house. His name is Robert Kiyosaki. This is a rotten to the core Japanese beast that totally is coordinated with a Donald Trump, with a corruption, with organized crime. You better believe him that so many of you are going to get so fucked, and you must obey the military orders, even if those are illegal and criminal. Yeah, this is the way you want it. This is the way you like it. Here you have your Jew Shapiro.
I'm not concerned about why they commit crimes.
Yeah, let me explain to you about something. United we stand, divided we fall, but there is a little bit difference. Yeah, of course, I love you, my black, Latino, Asian, whatever brother. I love you. I love you. I'm a Jew. I love you. But, you know, I love you only to the certain distance. And soon you're about to see the distance. Soon you're about to see the distance. United we stand to whatever the fuck United is. You are not doing it in the name of United States of America. You are not doing it in the name of laws and constitution. You are doing it in the name of the hatred. You are doing it in the name of the corruption. And these people know how to do it. You thought that you took it on a small guy and that's going to be it. It will be a simple thing done. And the whole thing, it's like a puzzle that is coming together faster than what you can count. As far as this man here, this man was involved in Mount Everest of torture. Both of these guys were involved in torture. Schmitz was involved in torture. The son of Vernon Schmitz, actually Vernon Schmitz, right? Or what's his name? Vernon Schmitz was involved in torture. Therefore, a son of the original owner. His house is actually almost right across the street as you come. I was even wrong about that stuff. As you come down on the this one also wants me to tell you about how when he started his university, where and how did he go to another school, therefore at university, that this was not the same, school. This was like equivalent to a high school in that sense. But he did go, afterwards he did go to university. He wanted me to tell you all about it. It's too bad that he was involved in so much staining the proofs about MK Ultra. That's too fucking bad. They were using at least 2 other houses to do the stuff. I don't want to see that because I don't want to vomit. Basically, the road is like this. The road that comes is like this. Oh shit! No, it's not. It's straight. It's really straight. You go like this, and his son should be actually the house, his property right here, basically, is where you would turn to his son, just basically just like this. Okay, as you would continue, I presume. What the hell did we said this towns? Let's see that stuff. Would it be a mistake possible to make? But no, if I tell you like this is fine. It's not even 20 meters. It's not even 50 meters, as I stated. It's right across, basically. Practically, it's on the other side of the street, basically, right across the. It appears to me that the father had this ranch. That this ranch was right across the street. That this was still theirs, and yeah, in this direction, like this. As far as the Chevy Nova. Yeah, all that stuff. Chevy Nova, John loved the Chevy Nova. He loved the Chevy Nova. But the thing is that I so fucking hated anything that had to do with the Nova because of the torture that went on. Is it gonna be... Really? Man, I'm not lucky. It looks like that I did change the CNN. All right, maybe I am lucky. A Chevy Nova. There you go. He keep fucking crying to me about the Chevy Nova. He had a Chevy Nova. His car was a Chevy Nova. You can read here about this story. That's what you want to do. He's a Chevy Nova. This fucker was involved in Mount Everest of torture. Inside of this school, inside of his university, they would deliver me in the winter time to houses where they would look similar to that and would have me for 10, 12 hours standing out on a fucking snow, wet, freezing, sit me inside with a frozen feet, wet feet in a tennis shoes. This is the shit that went on during MK Ultra, and basically posing next to locations that would be 2 houses on the hill, not like one, like in his case, and the chance based on the photos that are provided here in this place here. But you know, this is about MK Ultra. This is all about proving that individual is mentally ill. This is actually a photo he dedicated me to fuck me, to remind me of the evil he did to me. Nah, folks. The way you see the house here, they had another, this is outside, but they had a properties that there will be house there, and there will be house also on the side of the fence where the two are standing. And so they so clusterfuck you. They so clusterfuck you. They fuck you so badly. They fuck you up so badly with the lies that before you can even put the truth out, you look like paranoid and everything else in between. Unless if you remember the original account. Already when it comes to his driver license shit, there were several different versions of the driver license. One version of the driver license, because it's, when you have to do with the psychopaths, the only thing that you have left really to do, I mean, either you do this or you are actually exposing yourself to a scum, because that's all there is. They aren't there to help. It's about something completely different. There were several different versions of the driver license. And he did the driver license when I was just 8 years old in 1980. And even for that driver license in 1980, the British royals got themselves, this is very well known, Prince Andrew and Prince Charles, now King Charles, very familiarized. Very familiarized. He is not a person that would not know. Knows very good. He knows very good. These criminals know each other very good. That's what they were doing. All this was one big puzzle, one big fucking organized crime puzzle. He made a driver license, whoever the hell that was, already in May, whoever the fuck that was, but it became evident that this was not the driver license that he made. A psychiatrist cop was the one who also, with the police, they interrogate you together, also in front of him. Where did he make the driver license? Where he made the driver license? So where did he make the driver license? So where did he make the driver license? And every time they give you different answer. So when did he make the driver license? So what is this? What do you want me to tell you about MK Ultra? I'm going to be honest with you. Look, see it? His father supposedly claimed, if that was his father, that he had a driving problem because of the insufficient amount of time. That's basically, he just got a driver license and unfortunately got himself into a driving accident. You know, a funny man, Stefanic, the bimbo from Novo Mesto police station, psychopath, Juršić, Zajšek and all other garbage. What about if every fucking animal from Novo Mesto police station gives you a different stories, logical accounts? Logical, basically, logical lies, basically. What about then? You tell me, when did he make... I give you 50 different stories about when he make a driver license. And behind every story, I give you a story, basically. Behind every lie, I give you a story, a whole story. So that is just a question in which lie you're going to see yourself more. So how you tell then about the driver license? I told you all about what I think about the Slovenes, about the Slovenia. Now, I'm not going to go into their lies such as too many lies pertaining to his driver license. Because they didn't want me to tell anything about the driver license anyways. They didn't want me to tell anything about where his son is. That you see right there on the right side. Vernon Schmitz is on the picture of original owner of this house. Ranch, I should say. So, one account had it, what appeared to be a father, that he just got a driver license about this stuff when I said from his father that he just got a driver license. That he just got a driver license was Zajcik who claimed me that he just got a driver license. Don't you remember? And so on. About 2 months before he got into the accident. That was one version. That was a police version, I believe. Then it was another version that might have been from his father, and that basically is not even from his father. That is from nobody. That is mine. That he got his driver license on a warm day. Sometimes, probably, as I believe, the warm, as I remember the time when he got probably a driver license, as I remember the day when he got a driver license, it must have been probably in maybe July, I would say. That's about 6 months before he got himself into the incident. It was supposedly his first trip, the first time that he got himself into any snow driving. This is what his father claimed. And the father supposedly claimed that he got a driver license in September. So the father of John supposedly claimed that he got a driver license sometimes like in September. And because of the stuff that went on, that made me so fucking insane. Because of the British Royals even using an individual in as early as in a March that started to do the driving, the car driving. And when he took a driver license, and what I'm talking about is about the individual who was taking that driver license about 2 years earlier. Not even this guy. It was probably 1978 that this man was doing a driver license also. Yeah, they started to teach me about people taking driver license when I was 6 years old, 5 years old. If that makes fucking sense to you, I mean. I was pretty damn sure that he got an idea that he got his driver license in June. Right after May. June. June is pretty close to July. This June here was obtained through the police interrogations during MK Ultra as a May. Absolutely as a May. That's what they insisted from me. Would become an answer. This was their brainwash. Their brainwash was May. This was also Zajcik. This was also their agenda. The latest it would be May. They targeted for March, May. I think that he got his driver license in July, so I'm taking back everything that I stated in the video. I went over a little bit and I considered it the way it was. They would even deliver me to United States of America, and they would clue me. They would give me all kinds of clues about where he was taking a driver license, even on a parking lot where he was making portion of the driving test. Even that kind of stuff went on. Even all kinds of lunacy that went on. So yeah, I believe that the original time when he was taking a driver license was in July, which was actually completely impossible to even tell you because of degree and amount of torture that went on that same very day when he was taking a driver license. Not a fucking day went by in the United States of America that I would not be subjected to torture. Oh, he cried like a baby because he liked his Chevrolet Nova. You know why he liked the Chevrolet Nova? He liked the Chevrolet Nova because I did not like Warsaw. Because I didn't give three fuck about the Warsaw. And one more thing, even more important for me to tell you, which he counted that he's gonna cash on it. This is another one. Very, very important one for me to explain about this one here. To completely trash his hopes. To settle the differences with the facts. Boy, am I so fucking enough of you people, eh? It just doesn't come to me right now where alright, let's go just let's just make the sense. If that's not gonna work out, I'm gonna St. James, thanks God it's here. Take directions. I think the name is Olati, right? Yeah, there you go. Olati. He wanted to say to you, this is how pathetic this shit is. No, this shit is really, really pathetic. He wanted to say to you, oh shit, Clinton and Warsaw, it's not on a map. How the hell is that now? Boy, could we, could he change this somehow? Because I really need Clinton and Warsaw on the map, man. There's that third route right there. Come on, man. Show me that crap. No. Yeah, there you go. There you go. And still, it's not showing anything about this fucking place here. It's called Clinton. And Warsaw. What happened with the Warsaw and what happened with the fucking Clinton? I didn't have a problem with the Clinton. Now I do have the problem also with the Clinton. Oh, it happened to me. Stupid stuff. Alright. Driving is going to change this. There you go. John wanted to say to you, he was not using a Warsaw. He was using another location. For fuck's sake. So, he must not be, as I stated, it's a Warsaw and obviously Clinton, where we went through so many times, but Warsaw, but actually is located here through, it's got to be through the White Man, probably somewhere near White Man probably would be. If I would go fuck with this, probably I would go and find it, but let me just see something. What are we talking about? 3 hours and 42 minutes? 3 hours and 42 minutes, this is here. Okay, so you know where that happened? It's 3 hours and 42 minutes. So all I need to do is something else basically. All I do is I go like this. This is a 2 hours. Is it 2 hours? 2 hours. Shit. This incident took place. This incident probably took place about somewhere here, I would say. That's what I would estimate. I would probably say. Let me just see something. Let me just see something here, and just see this stuff here. This is a Smithton. Somewhere here, Smithton, Whiteman. Yeah. Well, yeah, I would say about this place here. I would say about here somewhere, and that means that he was going quite fast, actually. Yeah. What's this here? Countryside Circle. You know, let me see this here. No, not it. Not it. But if this was a farm where he went for a refuge, let's say, the sun, the sun would be basically like this, like right across the road, basically like this. You know, that would you would have entrance to the sun, basically, to his property. Yes, I remember also the farm from the sun, the way it looks like. Yeah, he wanted me to pay attention to that stuff, and this is a little bit weird here. Truly weird, because I feel that this shit is weird, especially because it's because that's a straight road, and it's quite it's a road that is quite the son, however, did have two houses. I remember that stuff. There were 2 houses. I think that this is where they were from. I gotta think about that one. Talking about the Schmidt's farm. There were 2 houses there on the property, I know that. So he would not share with me that information precisely. Was he doing some stupid shit and turning the side roads? Who the hell knows? The road was something like this. It was not a big road. It was not a... Yeah, we don't have the time for that stuff. I think I clarify as much as I possibly could. I ain't gonna go fucking driving around looking for his place. I don't have so much time. But that's all I gotta say about this stuff here. The son, Schmidt, from the original owner. This guy was a really nice person. I remember that also he had kids, daughters. He was, but that's already married also. Everything, beautiful girls also. I remember that. He had a few kids. I don't understand. Actually, if that was not his sister from Schmidt's talking about, because there were people there, and this is what I don't understand. Who was the person who moved to his property? That must have been then a son-in-law with a family who moved there. I guess that this is just the way it is. I guess that this is just the way it's organized, this stuff. that once they get older, they move up there. But where the hell is his wife? I hope he was married. Verno Schmitz, father of Virgil Schmitz, was married, just like a father, Virgil Schmitz. This man is married, Vernon Schmitz. I hope that his wife did not pass away or anything like this, because I remember that he had people. I remember that he had, unless that was from the sister or something like that, but I don't think so. This was a working man. I spent quite a considerable amount of time next to Vernon Schmitz. This is not a violent guy or anything like this. He was involved in some violence and stuff like that, but basically, who was not? Everybody was. I would not go after him to... it's not really a person that would be... He was happy to have me around somehow, I think. I like this guy, this Vernon Schmitz. He did some shit, he did, but is not such a bad person. Really was not such a bad person. Yeah, he did some bad stuff. He did. He also did some bad stuff. It was bad stuff also that he was involved in. Yeah, who was not, right? Well, there you have it. There you have it. I would have to go and consider more waste of time to get the job done. When it comes to this, I did very, very poorly here. I didn't point out probably many things. I gotta go all the way to the childhood to recall the Vernon Schmitz. I should know also about the John's father. What's interesting is these people would not tell me their professions. This is what's fucked up. This is what is fucked up. I was haggling around, guessing around, trying my best to see what their job was, what kind of job they were doing and stuff like this. Talking about the father from John. And they might have given something, whatever, to audio, video record themselves, but when I would ask them questions, that would be very, very short of everything always. This is good enough. I mean, I would have to pay a little bit more attention. Of course, that if I would see photos and stuff like this would be a different story, but this is basically the way it goes, this stuff. It just closed me, right? It just closed me the Google Maps. He was mind-boggling about this issue, which is also a sort of illness used to steal time from somebody. If you want somebody to just endlessly waste his time, and then you basically employ him with issues like this, so that, you know, other people like Donald Trump can do more. That's that kind of stuff. That's basically what this is. St. Louis. Well, What's interesting is even here inside of our house, he would still not give me, when he visited Novo Mesto, our house, absolutely did, and more than on one occasion, he would still not tell me in front of the psychiatrists, police, where exactly that incident took place. I mean, this is what I, you know, Gerald City Park. What the hell is this? That will not work. Not, that was just, so many houses that, that were involved in all this area here that something is telling me, however, that I'm awfully close to that location. You know? Something, however, is saying to me that I am awfully close to that location. However, not on this road, so very close here, very close nearby this, very close nearby this, very close nearby. That house that you saw it, that house sounds very familiar to me. So I'm not going to be keeping you around. I don't know. I'm sorry, I got completely absorbed here with this stuff. This has got to be very close to this here. Very close to this here, because they were taking me like this away from the road and they did the torture. So I know it's got to be here somewhere. Rosebud. Somewhere about a Rosebud, I think they told me, in the area of Rosebud. Here they told me somewhere in this area that this is where this is. Robert Golop, I think, claimed that this is more or less the area where this took place. No, that would make any sense. That would absolutely make no sense for him to. All through, he claimed that he was going. Oh yes, I remember that stuff too. Oh shit. Yeah, that's another problem, is that he was doing something else. He was doing all kinds of stuff, man. This guy John, he would also cut through like Owensville. Supposedly he was cutting through here to make me more interesting trip, because I understand that I like the road 44 this year. Let me see what is so special about. Oh, it's a highway. So It's faster, and this is what I like. Yes, I like fast cars, sporty cars, and that makes sense. That actually makes sense. All right, so now I know what the hell he was doing. Shit. If he did that stuff, then I really probably was inside of that car. Because he really was doing that shit because of me. That is true. That I'm not gonna lie. That I am not gonna lie. That is something I am not gonna lie. That's a trouble. Yeah, he was doing all kinds of stuff, this John. In a way, he was spoiling me, but then he really did become part of this psychiatrist Peter Kopp Slovenian KGB team, and even started to cry about his Chevy Nova, St. James. Holy shit. So, I see now. I see. This was totally wrong then. So this is a St. James. Okay. So now, then I'm okay. Then I'm good. It's just something else that I need to do, and I'm gonna know exactly what's going on here with this stuff. Yeah, you should video record all this stuff earlier. This guy lied to me because it's got nothing to do with him. St. James is located here, and therefore, yeah, he will be going through the Clinton and through the Warsaw to get to this road here, which actually he was the one who was doing this stuff. His parents, his father insisted that that's not what he's supposed to do. So I might have been completely wrong about it. He might have actually gone through. You see, this is the thing. This is a fucky fuck. You don't know what it is. You see, he alone lied. He alone insisted to me that because of me, that he would go through, obviously through the Warsaw, and obviously Clinton and Climax, whatever, come at the dawn and so on. Obviously. This is just the way it is. As to his parents, insisted and demanded from him to take this route here because it's shorter, and even that was not the route that I liked, if this was the route, just as simple as this. So whom you're gonna trust, how you gonna see yourself, how you gonna see yourself in it, when the people alone involved in this stuff, they alone lied about where, how, and so on. So this will conclude the video. He started to cry about a Chevy Nova, because I don't like Nova. Nova is like Slavic, Novo. Just like a Warsaw, I don't like that. The fact of the matter is that he became a bagger of, there was some Asian girl, and started to solicit her. Female. I don't know if he ever got married to her or anything like this. I have no idea. This guy based the way I see this shit here, this guy's so fucking weird. That couldn't be more weird than what he is, if you ask me. Because the way he did this MK Ultra, he did it completely in line with the psychiatrists, with the Ljubljana politicians. There's no fucking way you could take almost anything out of this one. Just as simple as this. They insisted that he did very nice, everything he did very nice, and so on and so forth. The thing is that when person asks you questions, you don't answer the questions, and you occupy person's mind through the torture involving other people in it. And in between, you video record yourself next to one, like you explaining to him and this and that. This is shit. Sorry. This guy was involved in Mount Everest of torture, if you ask me. A beautiful article, though, and beautifully the way he presented himself inside of our house. But this was not it. This was not really reality. It was not like this. I was closer to Vernon Schmitz than I was to him. He, from what I recall, he does have a daughter. From what I recall, I remember also his house. I remember that kind of stuff. Might have divorced from his wife. I don't even know. I don't even understand that. He did express interest in some Asian lady, girl, who was involved in MK Ultra. What a hunk, man. That was supposed to remind me of several things. One, of how he fucked me. Number two, however, of what his name, I don't know, philatelist or whatever it is. I'm a philatelist. He learned about me being extremely pro-capitalist. And so this shirt was, at least he interpreted this, because I rejected him. He interpreted this into capitalist so that I would see myself in him. Just as simple. The guy itself, he looked like a wimpet. And I didn't like wimps. I like the guys with the muscles. When I was involved in MK Ultra. When I was involved in MK Ultra. During MK Ultra, this is the way it was. Yeah, there's no muscles on this guy. He put himself a tie pants and stuff. The thing is, this guy never was wearing a tie pants. He was wearing those funny pants, loose pants, even Bing pants. The kind of stuff I really disliked. And so he found a way to pose in front of me with a pants like this. And I was supposed to not only guilty also that they stopped making Chevrolet Nova. Yes, that's what I was guilty for, that they stopped Chevrolet Nova. And I was also guilty that he no longer wear a tight pants. Because of me, he didn't wear the tight pants because I was a neo-Nazi, I was a fascist, and it's everything. So the stuff that he liked, he no longer could have. Because he could get a bad reputation. That's what he wanted to tell you. That's what John wanted to say to you. He wanted to add to your schizophrenia, whoever you are there. Now a little bit more serious business. So I think driver license July. They insisted that he had a driver license already for 9 months and all kinds of stuff like this. Completely crazy stuff that you... And here's the person who was involved in torture more than any other person in the United States of America. What is his name? Tyrone or whatever? I saw him today on the No, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck this guy is. His name. He should save his tattoo for the prison, because this one I'm never gonna let go. That was king of the shit, literally involved in MK Ultra. People who did this, created this crime, and are asking people about if they want you to put the tattoo on the face. Poor you, motherfucker, when we meet. Tyrus, his name is Tyrus. This was the man who was involved more in torture than any other person in MK Ultra in the United States of America, this guy here. And was involved in torture since like probably my 6th grade of the grammar school. And went on to claim actually that, I don't know, that he had bad circumstances at home and that kind of stuff. This is an absolute animal. That he was abused, I don't know what. This is an absolute animal. I remember him. I remember his brothers. This is absolute animal. Absolute animal. Where he's from Boston or something like that. Absolute animal, this guy, this thing here. This guy, everything that pertained to this guy can only think about one thing. I will unload absolutely everything that he was involved in it since my 6th grade of the grammar school. Throughout the high school and further, this guy was doing all he possibly could to get me killed. This was the guy, single guy who was involved in torture in the United States of America, personally, probably more than anybody else. Very good friend of the Slovenian police, psychiatrists, psychiatric hospital. He did all he possibly could to get me killed. There is nothing else that this stuff here. This is like this guy fucking lied, man. He also distributed to other locations, Oklahoma and etc. But and yes, I like this road. I prefer this road. I don't know. Must have been a no road back then or whatever the hell it was. It was a road that was that I enjoyed because it was fast driving. It makes me feel that I'm getting somewhere, that I'm going away from this fucking evil where they had me. Highway always was a good sign during MK Ultra because it was a return back into your world from the demons where they had you. In this case, American demons. So they talked to him not to go through here no more, that this is this is not a good route to take, etc., etc., etc. And it's actually even possible that he was taking a route through here. through Florence Stover, you know. Actually, Florence Stover, I don't know about a Florence and Stover, but there are roads here that you can go through, and you get, you know, you can get into this 44 that you see here. If this is the stuff he was doing, he was giving me impression that that's exactly what he was doing. But he took me from Olathe to St. James so many times that makes no sense to even talk about these things. The cooking pot is taking toll on me. This is very, very bad fumes. This shit is so fucking toxic that is incredible. I'm gonna go for a walk out because otherwise I'm gonna fucking drop dead. I end up burning a fucking pot and everything because of this shit, because of your fucking play with the internet, because of these things. Like, mind your own fucking business. Do you know how much damage? These are very serious attacks. In truth, interrupt people when they do this stuff. Mind your own fucking business. Mind your own fucking business. You have no idea how many incidents, accidents. This was not the first one. This was not the last one you did. You caused so many problems. So many problems by doing exactly what I described in this video. So many times that I'm actually glad I did this stuff. You fucking destroy absolutely everything, fucking scum. Pay for nothing, destroy everything. See, hear nothing, know nothing. That much for Hausa times.
Now I'm gonna demonstrate you basically what this shit did to me. What your fucking games with the internet. I'm gonna demonstrate you what your games with the internet did to me. This is what I barely managed to take out the cooking pot. This here, the whole house could have gone on fire. It destroyed me the cooking pot like this, all iron, metal, nice, beautiful, like this. This is basically what this looks like inside now. No, I want you to see what the fuck this is. How the accidents breed accidents. That's what happens when you get into the people's lives and you start to interrupt them, and you go after them, and you don't let them be, even in completely impossible circumstances as they are. You understand? This is what the fuck this is. I was talking to you about this guy, about these things that should have been done completely separately from the issue concerning the internet issue. Concerning all these things, I wouldn't be even talking to you about the fucking internet and about these things if it wasn't for this stuff. So this is now the next day, and now you can see how the money goes. That's very expensive dish. That was my dinner right there that I prepared myself. And in a split of a second, because of this kind of issues that you get into, this childhood shit and stuff that went on, you end up burning the fucking house. That's what you motherfuckers did. That's what you scum are. Keep laughing over there in America, because this is what you are. I brought so much burned dish, fucking deadly stuff, man. Deadly stuff. My voice is even changing from this shit that I inhaled in me. So you're gonna see the stuff that you people do, what kind of stuff the fuck you do with this internet game, with the disconnecting the internet, how far this kind of stuff goes. I'm gonna show you how it goes, how it all ended. How your internet stuff, this is basically good for the trash bin, this stuff here. This is how your internet game ended, yeah? I want you to see how it ended. I just came out of the room. No? In the end, actually, it happened, the accident. It could have been even worse.